Hey YouTube, Zipdisk here. This is day 6 of my Seekers Review Part 2. And today we're covering a figure that nobody actually knew counted as a Seeker until recently. Warning! Warning! This video will contain spoilers for Transformers Revenge of the Fallen. If you have not seen the movie yet, what are you doing watching this video? Go see it. Like, now. Anyway, today I'm covering Revenge of the Fallen, Ransack, who turns into a very nice little biplane. This is actually a Albatros D3 from the German Air Corps in World War I. Very nice little biplane with fantastic little Decepticon logos there. I mean, check those out. That's pretty metal, man. That's awesome. Got a nice paint scheme. Looks very old. Love the detailing on this guy. For a scout figure, this is great. Got a couple of machine guns on one side, a couple of bombs. Yeah, you can kind of see his arms underneath, but they're folded up nicely, so I'm not going to complain too much. And it's the only biplane transformer I can think of, which is nice. Okay, now you might ask, why does this guy qualify as a Seeker? Spoiler alert! In the movie, Agent Simmons, in his the basement of the meat shop he works in, has all the records from Sector 7, including a bunch of photographs of things from a long time ago. Apparently the Seekers have been on Earth a long time, or across the galaxy. They have been sent to search for stars capable of being converted into energon by the giant energon conversion machine that is buried in the Great Pyramids of Egypt. Yeah, that's a spoiler. Jetfire is also one of them. In the novelization of the movie, Ransack actually makes an appearance. When when Jetfire opens the space bridge to Egypt, it alerts Ransack of his presence. Ransack shows up, calls Jetfire a traitor, and fires at him, at which point Jetfire stomps Ransack into the dirt and kills him, and then tells everyone that both of them are Seekers, which is why I'm counting him as a Seeker. Because in part of the movie fiction, that's exactly what he is. Now, apparently he was mostly active during World War I, as that is what his alt mode looks like. It is a nice World War I fighter plane. I like everything. It's got a spinning propeller on the front. You don't get too many propeller-driven planes in Transformers, that's for darn sure. He's got the 2 landing gear in the front and none in the back, which is actually historically accurate. These things were not built for... We're early fighter planes, and weren't exactly built up to the kinds of specs we'd expect from a plane today. I like the way he looks. He's a fantastic little figure. Probably my favorite scout out of the Decepticon scouts in the whole thing so far. Gotta love him. Now, on to his transformation, which is also very nice. Well, actually, let me go to his tech specs first. We'll get on to his transformation in a moment. His tech specs. This is Ransack. I am not doing any kind of a voice, because I'm not very good at it. Back in the distant past of Cybertron, when flight was a new technology, Ransack was first of the flying aces. He was a ruthless combatant, blasting his opponents out of the sky, and then strafing the helpless troops stuck on the ground without cover. He may be past his prime and equipped with outdated weapons now, but there was a time when Ransack was the most feared name on Cybertron. Really, more feared than Megatron? More feared than Starscream? Kinda doubt it. Strength 4, Intelligence 6. Why is he smarter than movie Starscream? Speed 6, Endurance 5, Rank 8, Courage 10, Firepower 6, Skill 9. So yeah, he's a pretty good guy. I mean, yeah, he's down a bit on his weapons and strength. But why is he smarter than movie Starscream? That makes no sense. Movie Starscream should be smart. He shouldn't have an intelligence of 4. Sorry, ranting. Anyway, transformation-wise, this guy is very cool. Let's start with his legs. Bottom section here are his legs. His feet are interesting in that they are 2 completely different kinds of joints. Okay, I am really not doing this right today. Anyway, let's split the legs open. Put the legs apart to start with. There we go. Take this armor right here. You can see that armor. And pull it out and slide it down to reveal his actual legs themselves, which are kind of cool. I mean, I like the way that armor works. essentially we've got his legs. Just spin them around to the front, like so. And there's his legs, which are very nice. Now for the top part. First thing we're going to do is pull the wings from right here and disconnect the arms from the bottom wing pieces. That's important because these bottom wing pieces fold up and in. Should be real careful with them because they're very finicky and will pop off. There. See how that works out? Now you disconnect this wing from the top. You can actually split these wings at this point. Pull them to the back because they form sort of a cape for him, which is nice. And then we'll flip this whole section right here down. So that gives him his torso. Which at this point he looks very odd. Now, this is where things get a bit strange as far as I'm concerned. Because you've got to pull this whole assembly here back to this point and then fold it down. Then you bring up his arms right here. You see those on either side? This is going to be his arm assembly, and you fold that up. Now this is interesting, and it reminds me of G1 Power Glide for some reason, to have his arms formed by part of his wings like that. And then the last thing you need to do before you bring up his head is unclip. Well, his arms have a tendency to pop off their ball joints. That is a weak point in the figure. He does lose a bit on that, as far as I'm concerned. Now these landing gear here, you can flip these down if you want to give him, I don't know, sort of wings, wheels on his hips, or you can leave them flipped up. Let me put his arm back on this side. That will happen a lot, but you know, in some ways you can kind of just blame it as being he's really old, like Jetfire, because in the movie Jetfire is constantly falling apart, having parts fall off and other bad things happen to him. Okay, now this is almost his robot mode. Almost. The next thing we need to do, flip his chest panel, or actually pull up his head. You can flip that chest panel down if you want. Okay, and this is Ransack, one of the oldest of the Seekers in the movie. Take a look at that head sculpt if you can. It's very cool looking, very robotically weird. He's a very strange looking figure, but I think it works really well for him. He's got bombs on that arm, double machine guns on that arm. I think this guy's one of the best scouts in the whole thing so far. I mean, just look at that. You can do all kinds of things with him. He's got a kind of a battle mode, but it looks kind of lame, so I'm not going to do it. But, you know, I really like this guy. I highly recommend him. He's a cheap little figure, and probably one of my favorites in the entire Revenge of the Fallen line so far, aside from Leader Class Optimus Prime. Anyway, this has been Zipdisk with Day 6, Part 2 of my Week of Seekers. Tomorrow I'll do the grand finale. Anybody want to guess what that'll be? Anyway, you have a good one. Talk to you later. This has been Zipdisk. Might do one more video today, but that'll probably be a Defending the Indefensibles video. Because I've got to talk about the Defending the Indefensible chapter with the Kiss Players chapter with Starscream. Talk to you later. Bye.